Welcome back to From Hustle to Real Business. I am Chizoba, and we've been building this foundation step by step, right? We've talked about the difference between just making money and being an actual business owner. We've talked about the difference between profit and cash. We've talked about bookkeeping, why it's important. We've talked about how to register your business and make it official. And now we want to dive into a report that is the result of bookkeeping or accounting, keeping track of your business records. And that is the profit and loss statement. It is a report that every small business owner needs to understand and review minimally every single month. And by the end of this episode, my goal is that you will know exactly what it is, how to read it, and how to use it to make real decisions in your business. It's a report that can help you as you are scaling your business, knowing where to put money, knowing where money has gone. And so when somebody asks you about your business, you're not just giving a feeling, a rough idea, or an estimate. You actually have an actual number, a document you can reference that tells you more or less the financial story of your business in any given period, because that's what the profit and loss statement is. Most people call it the P&L, some people call it the income statement. Regardless of what you call it, it is a summary of your business finances over a specific period of time. It helps to answer the question, did my business actually make money during this period? So if you're looking at it for a month, did your business make money for that month? If you're looking at it for a whole year, did your business make money for that year? Not did money coming, not was I busy, but did the business actually make money after everything it costs to run it? And here's the basic structure. We'll take a look at an example shortly, but the basic structure is at the top you have your revenue, or your total income. Right beneath that, you have your expenses broken out into the different categories of where the money went, like supplies, advertising, etc. etc. And at the bottom, you have your net profit or loss. If it's a positive number, your business made money. That's a profit. If it's a negative number, your business spent more than it earned, and that's a negative number. And that's it. That really is the whole document. So now let's make it real. Let me share an example here. This is it. I hope you can see that. And if you are part of my email list, I am going to be including this in what I send you, the spreadsheet we'll look at in the video. If you are not and you would like to get a copy of this, the link will be in the description on how you can sign up and make sure you are getting these and other resources. Okay, so taking a look at this sample profit and loss here, we are looking at a sample cleaning business. It's the month of, put in whatever month. Let's see, this is the month of March 2026, so we can put that in there so that when you are looking at it, you know what month you are taking a look at. Our sample cleaning business makes money from residential cleanings and move-out cleanings. Had 8 residential cleanings and 2 move-out cleanings. So tells you what the what each cleaning costs, but this tells you the total income for the given month. This is how much the business made for the month of March 2026. And then this gives you where money went. Cleaning supplies were bought, gas and mileage for traveling to client locations. Well, this person, our cleaning business owner, uses their phone for both business and personal purposes. This is the business portion. Let's say they use it 50% of the time for business, 50% of the time for personal. So whatever the phone bill is, a phone bill of $120 a month, $60 is the business portion. And then they spent $75 on social media and flyers. So these are the total expenses for the month, which means the business made a profit for the given month that we are looking at. And so this is what a sample profit and loss statements looks like. It could be longer, it could be shorter. If you have a business that has multiple streams of income, this section could be longer as well. Even when you are using a bookkeeping software, this is what the report will look like. It will gather all of the information you've put in from each individual transaction and produce a report that looks like this. It might not have these details, but it's like 8 by 150. So it will most likely just look like this. It will give you the categories you've put in, what's the total amounts from the transactions have been put in there, and it will spit this out. Now, depending on what software you're using, some reports will give you this extra to tell you your profit margin, but it's optional. The most important thing is you have an idea of whether your business has made a profit or a loss for that given month. And so, here, let me scoot this out the way. I'm just going to minimize that a little bit because we are coming back to it. All right. So that is our sample P&L. You've taken a look at it, you see what it looks like. But now let's talk about how it helps you to make business decisions. Because not just a report you look at and put away, it's actually a decision-making tool. It will tell you, is my pricing working? So let's go back here to our P&L. The owner looks at the P&L and notices, oh, the move out cleanings, they are $300 jobs. They are taking twice as long as the regular cleanings. By the time she puts in her time, her supplies, her gas, her whatever else, she might decide, you know what, those jobs are not as profitable as I would like them to be. Now, this is something else you can do with your P&L. You could decide you want to break this out by income types. So, for example, cleaning supplies for residential cleanings, cleaning supplies for mobile cleanings. If there are different things you want to buy, you can break down this expense section with that level of detail so that you are able to even see more of which of these are making money the most, which of these are not. But the point I'm trying to make is without the P&L, the business owner cannot see that. She's just busy. She knows money is coming in, but she doesn't know which of what she's doing is losing money and which ones are eating into her profit. And so now she can't decide, well, I want to increase the price on this, or I want to stop offering this service altogether. Or take more jobs that are residential cleanings and less move-out cleanings. That's a decision our business owner gets to make. The same P&L also tells you where is the money going. So now she's able to take a look at this and see, oh, in the month of March, this is where my money went. Okay. And so she has an idea of where her money went. You can even look at this over a 3-month period. So let's take a look at a 3-month version of this here. Let me slide this a little bit more. All right. So again, same thing, same categories, right? But now we're looking at month 1, month 2, month 3. We see what happened in the first month. We see money came in more in the second month. Even more money came in on the third month. You see what was spent. And you see, this makes sense as the income increased, so did the cleaning supplies, meaning there were more jobs that were taken on. So it makes sense then that cleaning supplies are going up even as the cleanings are going up. But let's say cleaning supplies are going down. Let's say this was 140, 100, and then 60, but this is going up. Kind of signals, oh, this doesn't look right. Either the business owner has found somewhere to buy cleaning supplies for dirt cheap, or maybe in the previous month when she bought stuff for 140, that was just too much. But it looks abnormal, and it's just an indication, or go find the reason why this is happening, or think about it. This makes sense too, right? Revenue is going up. The money coming in is going up, meaning more jobs are being done. So, of course, mileage and gas is going to go up. Phone bill stays the same. Most phone bills are not charged by usage, so that makes sense. Advertising is going up. Again, that makes sense because business is increasing. Advertising more, business is increasing. But let's say this was reducing. This was 50. Well, Or let's say it was going the other way around. This is increasing, but this was going down. This becomes 600 and this becomes 300. Well, now that's a problem, right? Because your advertising is going up, but your revenue overall is going down. And that's another indication on, okay, I'm spending more money on this area, but I'm not seeing the fruits here. Am I spending on the wrong thing? Is it social media? Is it a type of social media? Is it flyer? Should I not advertise? Or that's a business decision you get to make, but you will not be able to see this if you do not have a profit and loss or a report to go back and take a look at. This is the kind of report you look at that says, can I afford to hire somebody? So the business is making a profit, Well, yeah, for this particular business owner, you can hire somebody, but now you need to think about, well, how much will I pay the person, so that you find somebody within your budget. Let's say you find somebody you need to pay $400 to. Now that means you have an additional line item here. It might say, call it what you want. Cleaning contractors, for example. And then you can decide, yeah, I want to hire the, in month 1, you can decide I want to hire the person in month 2. And so you've paid 400, you've paid 400. And you're able to take a look at that and see, yeah, I'm still going to make a profit if I hire somebody. So that's a business decision you can make. And you can also take a look and plan for a slow month. Let's say the cleaning business slows down every January. You've tracked it for 2 years now. You see every January it slows down because people are just, they've spent for Christmas and stuff. So you take a look at last year, you take a look at the year before. Yeah, it's always slow in the month of January. But now you know. It means in December, when things are busy, some of the profits that comes in for the month of December, now you tuck that away because January things are going to be slow and we're going to need more cash after December is over. But that's what a P&L looks like and how it can help you make a business decision. You want to make sure you have the cost of materials or products you use. You want to make sure you have advertising. If you subscribe for software, if you use phone and pay for internet, if you pay for rent or mortgage for a dedicated space or building for your business, transportation, if you need to move things around, parking, gas, professional services like your handy accountant, contractors you hire, cleaners, employees, your lawyer, whoever else, just people you pay professionally, repair people. And then office supplies, anything you use, your computer, paper, pens, just things that are staples, folders, office supplies, and office equipment and office expenses. And so when your expenses are categorized, your P&L just stops being a number at the bottom. It actually starts being a map. It tells you the financial story of what is going on in your business. You see which category is growing. You see which one is out of line. You see where you have room to cut. You see where you have room to invest. You see that, in a given month, a loss in that month might not be horrible because you've just invested a lot of money in something, but you want to track it for the next 2 to 3 months to make sure that your investment has paid up. So most bookkeeping tools will categorize your expenses automatically once you set them up. But that means your P&L is building itself in the background. Doesn't mean you don't review because nothing is perfect, right? So there might be some changes you will need to make, but that's why you review it, to make sure everything has gone into the bucket. And so how often you want to review this, like I mentioned, monthly. It takes 30 minutes. I don't think it would ever take you an hour to review unless you're actually working on building your report. But if you're just reviewing, 30 to 45 minutes, and even if it's an hour a month, I think that's a good time investment for your company. And again, you want to ask yourself, did I make money this month? You want to look at the bottom line. Is it positive or negative? Again, you're not judging, you're just getting information. You want to compare it to the previous month. Is income going up or down? Is this expected? Does it need attention? You want to find out where your biggest expense categories are. For our sample business owner, biggest expense category was cleaning supplies, followed by advertising as it continued to grow. Is there anything that should be higher than it should be? Is there anything that is lower than it should be. Then you want to see if there's anything you want to act on. Like, this stuff is increasing. I want to keep an eye on it. Like cleaning supplies for our cleaning business. If it's increasing too much, let's keep an eye on it. Maybe buy in bulk, buy from somewhere different, order from Timo. But you have information at your fingertips to make actual business decisions. You want to make it a monthly habit. This is what separates a business owner who knows their numbers from one who is constantly guessing. So as I wrap up here is what I want you to walk away with today. The income statement or the profit and loss statement is not a document for accountants. It's a tool for you, the business owner, to make decisions in your business every single day. It tells you if your pricing is working. It tells you where your money is going. It tells you if you can afford to grow. And it tells you when something needs to change before it becomes a problem. That's why you want to look at this at least monthly. Every other week if you can. Weekly if you can, but at least monthly. You don't need to be a numbers person to use it. You just need to look at it consistently and ask the right questions. If you are using Wave or using a spreadsheet, your P&L is already built every time you record a transaction. Pull it, look at it, start the habit. And if you get to a point where you might do the bookkeeping, but you need somebody to take a look and help you translate the reports until you get more familiar with it, look into hiring a bookkeeper or an accountant for a consultation session to sit down with you and go through the report, to tell you from their view what they see. Let them tell you the story they get from the numbers, and then you take that information and translate it into actionable business decisions. Okay. So that is a kind of, this video is a little bit lengthy, but I wanted to make sure I showed you the P&L and show you how you can use it to make business decisions. So if you have any questions on this, do not hesitate to send it in. In the next episode, we'll talk taxes. We will talk about estimated taxes. Like I've mentioned in previous videos, it is one of my favorite things to talk to business owners about, because a lot of business owners don't pay it, and that is something that will help make tax time a lot more easier, a lot more stress-free than it typically is. So we'll talk taxes. We'll talk about what you're responsible for as a small business owner. We'll talk about how to set aside money for taxes. And we'll talk about when to get an accountant and when to do it by yourself. I think we might even address the different types of taxes: sales tax, estimated tax, income taxes, unemployment taxes. Just explore that, maybe not in detail, but so that you have an idea of what it is you are responsible for as a business owner. So I do hope that after today's video, you are able to take a P&L and assess it, read it, use it to help you make business decisions. And in the next episode where we talk about taxes, I will see you there.